Hello and welcome to today's meeting. First of all, I'd like to introduce you all to Miss Hill.
Hello, it's been lovely getting to know all of your children and I'm looking forward to the rest of the year with them.
So in today's meeting, we're going to be giving you some information about the early years and what it looks like here at Binfield and across the country, and hopefully there's lots of helpful tips along the way. There is a lot of information, so please don't feel too overwhelmed. You can stop and start and watch the video as many times as you need to or would like to. Through your child's school journey, they will be following two curriculums. The first one is the early years curriculum, which is birth to 5, and once they start year 1, they will start to follow the national curriculum, which they'll continue to follow until they finish their journey at school. In September 2021, the early years framework was revised and some changes were made. They moved some bits around and added some little extras in there. The changes are really positive because they align better with the year 1 curriculum now. So throughout our year in reception, we'll be working really hard to meet our goals for July in order to provide your children with a good transition into year 1.
The early years framework is made up of 7 different areas of learning. So there is 3 prime areas in this, and they are like the main areas. So these are communication and language, personal, social and emotional development, and physical development. And then we have 4 specific areas, which are literacy, mathematics, understanding the world, and expressive art and design.
Throughout the year, the children will be working through the stages of our curriculum. The children will be assessed against this, and we use the Development Matters document. During the last term, the summer term, we will be assessing the children against the early learning goals, which are a statutory document. The data from this is submitted to our local authority and then collected nationally. I've popped the link here if you are interested to have a look at the different stages. We work with the 3 to 4 age band and then reception, and you'll find that early learning goals are on a different document. Through the next slides, I've put the early learning goals on for each of the 7 areas of learning. After each early learning goal, there is a slide on how you can support your child at home. Some of the slides we are going to talk you through them, and other slides we're just going to leave for you to have a look. Some of it's quite self-explanatory and there is a lot there, so it is for you to sort of dip in and out of and come back to, but I would like you to go to the last slides if you are going to skip through, because there is a bit more information at the end. Thank you. So you've just seen the early learning goals for communication and language, which is one of our prime areas. It's sort of fundamental for the whole curriculum really, because a lot of the curriculum is assessed through communication, talking, using vocabulary, so it's a really important one. So ways that you can help your child at home, and as I said before, you're probably already doing these things but maybe you haven't realised how important what you're doing is. So asking lots and lots of questions: why, how, when, who, where, all these questions, and encouraging your child to ask questions back as well. You could ask questions at the breakfast table in the morning, on the way to school, during visits to the shops, parks, farms. There's lots of opportunities for having that conversation, and as I say, asking questions and encouraging your child to ask questions too. We've put in there to use big words and explain their meaning. I often hear if a child can say Tyrannosaurus Rex, then they can say and use other big words in our English language, and a lot of them can as well. Encourage the children to use these words, model how to use them, ask them if they can think of a sentence that they can put it in. And then sharing books with your children. We say this a lot, and I know we do, I'm really sorry, but it is so important. And when you're sharing a book with a child, again, ask questions before you've read it, like can they make a prediction? Do they know what the story might be about from just looking at the front page? During the story, how do you think it might end? How do you think that person might be feeling? can they retell the story once you've read it all? Can they go back to the beginning and looking through the pictures, can they tell you the story and use all that lovely story language, like once upon a time there was a lovely princess with really long hair, and that's just really basic.
You have just looked at personal, social and emotional development, the early learning goal. So now we're going to look at how you can support your child at home with this. So we can help build independence, responsibility and teamworking skills by involving them in shared family activities. This might be getting them to help set the table, getting them to help prepare meals or unpacking the shopping. So you can encourage the children to dress themselves independently, as sometimes we do still struggle with zips and buttons in the class, and also encourage them to wash their hands. You can play team games at home to help them with turn taking and understanding rules of a game.
Here's the literacy early learning goal. It's broken down into 3 areas. We've got comprehension, which a lot of that is spoken about in the communication and language early learning goal as well. We've got the word reading. Our Read Write Inc phonics programme supports this, and writing, which is also done in Read Write Inc. But we do, in addition, do a guided write with the children once a week and encourage independent writing throughout our continuous provision at all times. The next slide is going to take you through a child's writing journey in reception.
So reading books from school to support our Read Write Inc programme is very important. Reading 5 times a week will help your child read with fluency and start to remember words without having to use their Fred talk and Fred fingers. So reading to your child will build a love of books and stories for when they are able to read themselves. So look around at your environment and try and find labels and signs that they can read independently. So reading books from school to support our Read Write Inc programme is very important. Reading 5 times a week will help your child read with fluency and start to remember words without having to use their Fred talk and Fred fingers. So reading to your child will build a love of books and stories for when they are able to read themselves. So look around at your environment and try and find labels and signs that they can read independently. We want to work alongside parents to ensure that each child reaches their full potential in all areas. So how can you help? Have a look through the early learning goals to familiarise yourself with these. The PowerPoint will be saved on the class page.
We encourage your children to be independent thinkers and learners in reception, setting them up with these skills early in their school career. Giving your child the same independence at home will reinforce this. Please share any work that your child does at home or learning, or any wow moments that you have. We're all setting you up with Evidence Me app, so you'll be able to see what your child's been doing in school, and likewise we'd love to see what you guys get up to at home. The children really love looking at it and sharing it with their friends. We do have an enrichment grid that goes up on the class page every half term, which has lots of activities on to support the learning that we're doing in school, and they're fun things that you can do at home as a family. So again, the stuff from this can go onto Evidence Me, or if there's anything physical, pop it in your child's school bag and we'll have a look for it and share it. Thank you.
So here are some useful links or apps that you could use at home to help develop your child's learning.
That was a lot of information, so as Miss Hill said, the PowerPoint will be saved on our class page for you to look at your own leisure and come back to for reminders. We hope this has been useful. If you do have any questions, as always, please email secretary@binfieldschool.com and direct it at one of the reception teachers, Mrs. Thompson or Miss Hill, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you.